Hey, fellow babies, you know me, I'm John, and I'm here to talk about whether or not you're a narc and what that means. First of all, I want to say that Babbling Streams of Consciousness is not meant to be diagnostic in any way, shape, or form. It's supposed to be a conversation. Maybe educational. I don't know. It's supposed to be fun and educational and fun and educational. It's something like that, right? With that said, if you have some need for any mental health, whatever, please, please, please see one of my badasses or somebody else. If you're interested in one of the badasses, their information is on those videos and they would be happy to help you or point you in the right direction. With that said, let's talk about, are you a narc? Well, why are we talking about that? Well, if you have a person with narcissistic qualities in your life, it seems to be common to have this question: am I the narc? Why do you think that is? I don't know. We're gonna hopefully find out. So let's start off with, what is a narcissist, right? And we've talked about this a couple times on here, right? There's three main types. There's the overt, covert, and the social. The overt is the one that everybody thinks about, right? Very grandiose, very upfront and personal. They think nothing, everything they touch is gold, right? The Midas. It's an overt narcissist. These are your politicians, your sports, your athlete stars, your entertainment stars, right? Those guys, right? They are overtly narcissistic. They don't care. They can do whatever they want and get away with it, and they have all their lives because they are so great, right? And there's the covert narcissist. This is the one that plays the victim, is sneaky, right? They sneak up on you because they're covert. I'm going to sneak around. And then, bah! I'm an awful person. And then there's the social ones. And the social ones get supply, they get high off of pretending to do great things for the community. But we're not we're not interested in that one. Or the first one. We're interested in the covert one, because I think it's the most dangerous one. And I think it's the one that we're more used to being around, right, as a common person. So, what are the common threads? Even though we're not talking about the other two, there are some common threads, right? And most of the time, these people, guys, just being a term I'm using universally, feel like they have an inadequate life and they have some shame about it. Their life is not as cool as yours. Not as cool as mine, not as cool as anybody's. And so they have to make theirs better, right? And how do they do this? Well, they lie, as we've said many times on here, right? They lie about their past narrative, their childhood. They'll either make up a false narrative or they just won't talk about it. Because if they talk about it, then it'll be discovered that their childhood was crappy. And they don't want that. They feel shame about that. So they have to hide that, right? They have no accountability, right? They want to make everything somebody else's fault, right? If it was good, then they did it. If it was bad, then somebody else did it. Anybody but them, right? This builds on the narrative that their life is better than yours, right? Ultimately important, that their life is better than yours. The win, right? They are ultimately interested in the win, right? Covert narcissists often play the victim. So they will play the victim by creating a situation, a bad situation, right? And then swoop in as the savior. How you do that if you created the problem in the first place? Well, they lie. So they'll lie about it. They'll manipulate you. They'll gaslight you into thinking that you did it. They project all their bad qualities onto you, making you think you did it, or you are the one with the bad qualities. You are the one with the worse life than they, right? And this is how they supply their control. They control their supply. They get all this affirmation. Thank you for saving me. Oh, great covert narcissist. Thank you. You know what? You're right. I must have forgot I did that, said that, whatever. You're right. I should be a better human being. You're the savior. And that's how they control their supply. They get you in a vicious cycle, right? They tell you everything is great. They tell you you're great. They tell you your life will be great with that person. And then when it falls apart, it's not their fault that it's falling apart. It's yours. And if you could be better, your life, yours and theirs, could be better if you were a better person. This is where the manipulation comes in. This is where the gaslighting comes in. And don't be wrong, the whole thing was a manipulation. The whole thing was a lie. And the whole thing was gaslighting, right? The whole play. And this can last for years, unfortunately, right? This whole cycle of we're going to be great, you're not great, you're the reason why we're not great. Maybe I should bounce. You know, I thought this was going to be great, but you know, you're not pulling your load, you're not doing the hard work. And then they give you some crumbs, breadcrumbs to feel like, oh, I am doing okay, yeah, she was right, he must have been right, they must have been right. And the cycle starts all over again. All right. So that's what a narcissist is. That's what they do. They want that supply. Those feelings of admiration are what they're looking for, the win, right? That legitimizes their narrative. I'm the savior. I am the person keeping this life together, our life, right? Even though they're actually the person tearing it apart. All right. That's what they are. So how do you know it's not you? You're not the narc. How do you know what they're saying is true or not? How do you know if their projections onto you are valid, right? Well, if you think that you're a narc, chances are good you're not, for a couple of reasons, right? First of all, narcissists are not going to be accountable for anything. They won't be accountable. It'll always be somebody else's fault, especially in a covert narcissist. It has to be somebody else's fault. Otherwise, they can't be the savior. They can't get the win. They have to have the win, right? Always, always, always somebody else's fault. They are not going to be accountable for the life's problems. They are largely not self-reflective. If you have this question, am I the narcissist? Well, you're taking accountability. Maybe it's me. Let me think about this. That's self-reflection. Let me look back on my life. Let me look back on my life to see if these things are true. Narcissists will not likely do this. Narcissists are seldom, very rarely, authentic people, right? They don't have empathy. They can sometimes have what is called cognitive empathy. And that's just a learned behavior that says, all right, in this situation, I'm supposed to feel, act this way. But they don't actually feel that way. They just act that way to give the appearance of feeling that way, right? To keep their narrative alive, that they're the savior. So, if you have these things, right? If you're asking this question, chances are you're self-reflective. Chances are you have empathy. Chances are you're looking for accountability. You're trying to be accountable. And you probably have been accountable all this time. If you have a narcissist in your inner circle. Well, that sounds easy, right? There's only a few things there. Do I have empathy? Yes. Am I self-reflective? Yeah, I think so. Do I take accountability? I say, I'm sorry. That was my fault. My bad. I did that. Yeah. Okay, sure. It's cool. It's easy. It's easy. Is it easy? Man, you know it's not. We know it's not. We know that this manipulation, this gaslighting, this process is so good. They do it so well. The narcissist does it so well. They will convince even seasoned veteran psychologists, way better than me at this. And I'm not even a psychologist, right? People way better at identifying this than me end up with covert narcissists in their inner circle. That's how well they do it, right? That's what we're talking about. So it's not easy. Remember? Why not? Well, they play the victim. So it's easy to feel bad for them. They're coming around talking about, if they're talking about their childhood, they're talking about how their childhood was so bad and, it wasn't their fault. They're talking about their past relationships. All their past relationships were either narcissists or they were all crazy. They were the ones that, did all the right things. And for whatever reason, they did everything they could do. It just wasn't enough. Right? They gaslight, they lie, they create a narrative that makes it look like what they're saying is true. They're not going to take you around to the people that know the truth. As a matter of fact, those people have been discarded long ago. They were smeared years ago, or being smeared currently. Right? That's how they get rid of the people that they don't need anymore. The ones that know the truth about their life. They use smear campaigns, blatant lies about that person, oftentimes about the victim, right? A victim of a narcissist comes out of a relationship feeling like they don't even know what hit them. They didn't realize that this person they trusted so well, could treat them so poorly. Because what they said, they felt was true. Now, the victims, are hard on themselves because they let themselves down. They got played. Their savior wasn't the savior at all. And that deception is really hard to swallow. They're hard on themselves. And they're hard on, or they feel bad about the people around them that got affected by this. Right? Plus, it's difficult to see because by and large, they don't do it 100% of the time. Even the grandiose ones, right? Even the overt ones are not narcissists 100% of the time. Maybe 99% of the time. Covert ones can't be narcissistic all of the time, or it would obviously be, detectable. If they were lying constantly, you would figure it out. Did you go to the store today? Sure. Well, where are the groceries? They fell out of the car. Obviously, right? There's going to be some sprinklings of truth in there, some breadcrumbs for you to see and them to post as validation. Look, I did that. That one thing. All year long, I did that one thing, and I didn't lie about it. I told the truth, that one thing. See, it's right here. Validate me. That's what they do. That's why it's hard. That reinforcement schedule where they do that one thing, that one time, in band camp or wherever they were, that is the hardest reinforcement schedule to break. That's the same one slot machines use. Random interval. Right? Random action. Random time, random action. And when you see that, you think, oh, I have hope. Because you want to have hope. That this relationship, whatever it is going to work out. And they keep telling me I'm the one that's in the wrong. I'm the one that needs to step up. Maybe they're right. That's why it's so hard to get out of those relationships. That's why people that are close to a narcissist sometimes come away thinking that they themselves are a narcissist. Because they're going to project their bad behaviors, their bad characteristics onto you and say that you are the person that's doing this. And you're going to walk away thinking that you are. And that's why it is so difficult to figure out or leave, to figure out who the narcissist is, to figure out where the problem is in a relationship, and to rectify it with a narcissist. The narcissist is steady saying it's you. Steady saying, look at me, I'm the one holding it together. Steady saying to all of your friends, that person's crazy, don't believe them. To all your family, you don't know how they are behind closed doors, when in reality is they don't know how the narcissist is behind closed doors. That's why it's so hard. That's why victims walk away sometimes thinking they're the narcissist. Once again, fellow babies, if you have comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.